We're going to delve back under the tree for the fourth president of this podcast. And presenting the fourth president of the podcast is none other than K-League TV commentator Alex Jensen.
Hello, Merry Christmas, everybody, as evidenced by the little Christmas tree in the background. Not an accident. No, I'm really happy with the way the last season's gone, apart from the fact the title race was wrapped up a little too soon. It was really exciting, top, bottom, middle, and had a lot for me to talk about as a commentator, so I'm very grateful for that. But of course, things can always improve, and what I'd love actually to see in 2024 is better marketing by K-League clubs themselves. Too often I still speak to people here in Korea who, when they talk about football, gravitate towards other countries, other leagues. Now, it's understandable, of course, the Premier League's wonderful, you've got Korean involvement there, the level's very high. But here in Korea, the level's also improving all the time. And I feel like people are unaware, or they're undervaluing the experience that's available to them. And clubs can better tell their stories in Korean and in other languages to reach out to more people and to raise awareness. We should see more presence of these clubs. For example, when you're in Seoul and you go shopping, if you want to buy a football shirt, yes, you can find a Man City shirt, but why can't you find an FC Seoul shirt that easily? Even if you go to FC Seoul's club shop, they're often sold out. So that's what I'd love to see, not just FC Seoul, throughout the league. And K-League too as well. Why not? More confidence in themselves. FC Seoul and clubs of that stature should be the Manchester Uniteds of Asia and beyond. I've been saying that for a few years. Why is it not happening? I think part of the reason is that these clubs don't necessarily fully believe in themselves, or there are too many different decision-making processes going on behind the scenes. Perhaps you guys can debate that further as to what's holding that marketing process back. But there's a lot of money there behind the scenes that could be devoted to things like this, efforts that would make the K-League more prosperous around the world and even here at home, to build on what was a fantastic 2023 with record attendances that I think could grow more in 2024 and beyond, and grow our community of K-League fans.
Alex Jensen there from K-League TV fame, and, well, preaching to the choir, really. Obviously,
Absolutely.
This podcast definitely exists to try and push K-League, and it would be great if the clubs were in sync with that. But before we go into all the things we agree with that, surely somebody has to disagree. K-Leagues shouldn't be marketing themselves. Paul?
How can I argue with that? No, I mean... My club are a prime example of this. Like when Hannah took over, a lot of the sort of spiel was about becoming a global football club, right? So, but only recently did they change their name on Instagram to be in English. It was just DHFC for a long time, and even that, it could be anybody. So, listen, they also make great videos on YouTube, lots of behind the scenes sort of. Kind of documentaries for every game, and they're fantastic. They're very, very well made, but they very rarely, if ever, have them with English subtitles. I know it takes a lot to be able to put them through a translator and be able to sort of do that, but they would be able to reach, they would reach anybody, really. They could reach anybody that they really wanted to be able to sort of show what goes on behind the scenes at a football club in South Korea. Now, can marketing be an arm of sales? Well, there are very few clubs that even allow you to buy shirts and merchandise overseas, right? Very few. John Booker, one of them, I think, so is Pohang Steelers, but very few of them do. You have to have a login or a phone number, a Korean phone number, to be able to verify who you are, to be able to order things. Even in this country, it's a pain to sort of get merch. Stock is low, as Alex just sort of talked about. The only way you can really get merch at Daejeon is on match day. Same with most teams. FC Seoul, to their credit, are the only team that I know of that their shop is open all week. But most clubs are not. It's only so I like my merch, right? We've talked about this before, I think, but I haven't bought any merch this season from Daejeon because I've been to 3 home games, okay, and there's always a long queue outside the club shop. And then when I went in for the 3rd time on the last game of the season, there was nothing left.
Yeah.
So I get that, as the season goes on, you're going to sell a lot of stuff, but there wasn't even any shirts available. They had this sort of weird system where it was like a pre-order thing, or they had like a certain amount and they sold out really quickly, really, really quickly. How can they sell out of shirts? How did you not know that people will want to buy more shirts? It's like Incheon as well. They sold out of their ACL shirts. How can you have sold out if more people want them? Sell more of them. How can you not have known? The same with Daejeon. How can you not have known that the following year, after having a very good season, that fans are going to want to buy more stuff? How can you not have anticipated that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, and the argument is, oh, well, yeah, but they sold more shirts than they have in the last 3 or 4 years. Well, yes, because they won promotion to K League One for the first time in 8 years. Incheon in the ACL for the first time ever. Of course they've sold more. It's mental. How can you not understand supply and demand? I don't understand it. So yeah, there's not a single word I can argue with what Alex said.
I think I'd back up. Well, just to also correct your point there as well with John Book selling things overseas, they stopped that as well. And every time they've tried it, it's because actually, to be honest, I think it's not profitable. Overseas things I can kind of see. Okay, maybe it doesn't sell that much, but perhaps they could make some kind of exceptions. But the other point you make, the stock point, that does drive me mad, because you get to a point like about August, September, and there's no kits available.
Not left, yeah. Mad.
Yeah, and if you want a John Book kit for Christmas, or any kit for Christmas, you're usually a bit stuck. As you said, Seoul do have their club shop open 6 of 7 days a week, and I will say I've seen Daegu shirts because they have the manufacturer. Oh,
Gold Studio.
That's the one. Gold Studio. Thank you. Yeah, Gold Studio. I've seen them actually get their kits. A couple of friends came over for my wedding recently, and they all left with Daegu kits, which, well, basically they're under strict instruction for me not to buy a Seoul shirt. They could have any shirt they want, which was a bit of a challenge considering there was no other shirts available. But yeah.
But the league has got a broadcast deal with Coupang Play. Why can't Coupang sell shirts? Because Coupang obviously is an e-commerce company, right? It's like Amazon, right? Why can't they sell shirts on there?
It would go hand in hand, wouldn't it? You think? But alas, here we are. Sorry, Andrew. I've not even let you. I mean, this is such a topic where I think we're all on the same side, but we've all got so many things to say about it. But Andrew, any thoughts on really any of that?
Yeah, you could turn off the buzzer. It's probably a good idea just to turn off the buzzer for this particular segment. I agree with absolutely everything that Alex said and what Paul said as well. The kids thing really bothers me too, the whole store thing, because I don't have a team, so I like going to the stadiums and I love buying stuff. When you go to Europe, buy a T-shirt or buy like a silly hat or something with, I don't know, Feyenoord or Anderlecht, whatever on it. I brought a friend of mine to Ulsan Munsu Stadium back in August when they played against John Motors, and his choice in the middle of August, it was hot. It was unbelievably hot outside. It was either they had loads of jerseys. The one thing I will say, they had loads of jerseys. But it was either a jersey that was about 100,000 won or it was a scarf. Who wants to buy a scarf that's 25,000 won in August? Wear that again. So there's not only are the stores are all way too small and you have to queue. I hate queuing to go into a store like that. It should just, the store should be way bigger. Suwon built a new one, a Big Bird, and it's still way too small and you have to queue up for 30 minutes just to get inside. And when you get in there, either the stock is sold out or the stock is pretty crap. That whatever they've left, they don't have enough variety of stuff. And I really hate that because I want to go to these different K League One stadiums and buy something from their store, give them some more money, and then wear that. Like a podcast like this, or next time I go back and watch the game. But pretty much all I have are 2 Songnam jerseys. That's all I have. I don't really have anything else because it's too expensive. Everything is too expensive, and it's not what I want to buy. That's one thing I'd say. The other thing as well, then, is like around the town. I think Alex kind of mentioned that there's no, apart from like that one road that goes up to the stadium, there's no visibility of the club anywhere. Until you see the floodlights, you don't even know that there's a professional club playing in this neighborhood. And I think Suwon FC have it worse because they're beside a ballpark, beside a baseball stadium. And even like the bus stops are designed like a baseball dugout, and all the flower bushes are of a baseball and stuff. And you wouldn't know there's a professional football team in the neighborhood. And I just think things like that are horrendous. They need to fix that. I wish there was more presence of the football club in the city. And then the other thing I'd say is just looking at their social media too. Like some of it is pure garbage. Like when I go on to the Blue Wings one, for example, after they got relegated, I was kind of seeing which way their social media was going, and it's not over till it's over. A lot of these type of jargon in English that's everywhere doesn't really mean anything, and there's no engagement there. There's no way for like a casual fan or a new fan just to jump on with that and think this is a football club I want to know more about. There's nothing there. There's nothing to get excited about. There's nothing to buy when you go to the stadium. And if you're in Suwon or Pohang or Jeonbuk or Jeonju on a match day, you wouldn't even know there's a game on around the corner. I think they really need to fix that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, we also have something in here as well. I just want to point it out. We also have something in from Sorare FC Seoul talking about Sorare. Sorare, obviously, how can we say? Yeah, the virtual trading cards with the. I know I've really undersold it there. I apologise, but yeah, Sorare has been one of the best marketing drivers for the league in the last few years. Shame there were issues with the live scoring this season. Actually, I only briefly knew about the live score issues with that. I'll be honest, Sorare is not my cup of tea, but I know that it's something we have looked at as well on this podcast and something we have at one point also been associated with. But I can't deny that it has certainly had driven an international audience for a while as well to this league, and it's just a shame that the clubs can't actually drive it themselves as well. Yeah,
it's frustrating because they do a little bit. Then don't really follow it through properly, and it makes when that happens, you kind of lose faith with something, don't you? You know what I mean? So the Sorare thing, yeah, it was great to have that increased interest for a couple of years, and then now they've fumbled this data thing. It's like, well, now what? You know, fix it. Stop just like pretending the issue doesn't exist. You know, it doesn't exist. Just fix it or drop it completely. Don't just sort of do a half-assed version of it. You know?
Yeah. Anyway, right, we're gonna have to move on. I'm gonna end it there. We've all got lots of things to say about marketing. I'm sure people as well do have lots of things to say about marketing. Please say it in the comments. Before we